WECT Investigates report tonight, looking into whether Pender County commissioners broke state law by suspending changes to property revaluations.
Commissioners are holding firm on their decision to keep last year's property tax values. WECT's Connor Smith looking into what impact that could have. Connor, state officials are advising commissioners to reverse that decision.
Yeah, that was the message last night from the North Carolina Department of Revenue's lawyer. But commissioners say they're willing to face the consequences to protect the taxpayers.
I think it provides inconsistent data.
Pender County commissioners and neighbors are not happy with their new property values.
We got valuations that are highly inflated.
Estimates show property values have doubled for many homeowners, but commissioners have decided to pause those new values and keep the current ones. They're also giving you until October 1st to appeal your assessment.
We want to follow law, but we also want to listen to our taxpayers and not overtax them out of their home.
Commissioner Jimmy Tate says he doesn't trust Vincent Valuations. That's the company Pender County paid $2.3 million to assess your property value.
Nobody in this room is opposed, I believe, to paying taxes. What we are opposed to is imposing a tax on inaccurate data.
But in front of a packed room Monday night, county state law.
It wasn't until we did further research to determine if the motion was allowable that we were able to determine that it may not be.
This is the law in question. The Machinery Act doesn't explicitly let counties suspend property revaluations after January 1st. It also doesn't say they can't.
I'm willing to take a risk on the behalf of the taxpayers if that means creating a new case law.
The county's attorney says that could prompt an investigation from Attorney General Jeff Jackson's office. A spokesperson there didn't respond when we asked if the office will get involved. But Commissioner Brent Springer says they're pushing ahead regardless.
I don't know that we're going to have any repercussions. I'm not going to say that we don't.
A decision that will ultimately impact you and your budget over the coming year. And county commissioners are now asking state lawmakers to introduce a bill that would let them suspend a reappraisal. Springer says he and Jimmy Tate are planning on meeting with Representative Carson Smith and State Senator Brent Jackson on Friday. Fran?
Connor, how is this impacting budget decisions in Pender County?
Yeah, county commissioners say they are looking to lower the tax rate. Of course, that doesn't ensure you will pay less in taxes, but keeping the existing values likely means that rate won't change all that much, but we'll keep an eye on it.
All right, keep us updated. Thanks so much, Connor.